Good day, students, welcome to the online education of class 7 science. Dear students, in the previous class we have completed the lesson number 11, that is transportation in animals and plants. Okay, so we have completed the exercise part of it also. Okay, so in today's class let us continue with a new lesson. Let us start with a new lesson, that is lesson number 12, reproduction in plants. Okay, dear students, this is very interesting lesson and it contains very important aspects of the reproduction in plants. Okay, so let's begin now. So as we are all know that the living things possess various types of characteristics. So one such characteristic is to produce its own kind. Okay, so that we have studied in the class 6th. Okay, so let us remember the definition of reproduction. So what do you mean by reproduction? So reproduction is nothing but the production of new individual from their parents is known as reproduction. So what is reproduction? The production of new individuals, means new young ones from their parents, is called reproduction. So we learned about the reproduction. Okay, so in animals, so how do the plants reproduce? Okay, so there are different ways or different modes of reproduction in plants, which we will learn in this today's start. Okay, in today's lesson chapter. Okay, so let us start that. Okay, so let's go for the first concept, that is modes of reproduction. So mode means the way. Okay, the means. Okay, the modes of reproduction in plants. So as we studied in 6th standard, that different parts of a flowering plant. Okay, so one flowering plant possesses different kinds of parts. Okay, so let us make the list of such parts, various parts of the plant, and write the functions of each. So most plants have, okay, so most of the plants, they have different kinds of parts, such as most of the plants have roots, stems, and leaves. Okay, so what are those? Roots, stems, and leaves. So most of the plants have such kind of parts. Okay, so these important parts called as roots, stems, and leaves, they are called vegetative parts of the plant. So what they are called? They are called vegetative parts of the flower. So what we call for them? Vegetative parts. Okay, so we call them as vegetative parts of the plant. Okay, so let us understand that. So vegetative part of the plant. So what are those vegetative parts of the plant? Means roots, stems, and leaves. Okay, so after creating or after a certain period of growth, so when the plants, okay, so when you put a seed, it becomes a seedling. So when the plant grows for certain period of time and when it reaches some growth, so most of the plants, what they do, they bear flowers, means the flowers start growing but becomes flower. So you might have seen the mango trees flowering in spring. Okay, so mango trees start giving the flowers during the which season? Spring season. Okay, so in during spring season the mango plants start flowering. So it is these flowers, they give rise to juicy mango fruit we enjoy in summer. So in spring season, almost now the time starts from December, January, February onwards. The spring season, this is the period of spring season. Now the flowering season it is for the mango trees. So later on, after 1 or 2 months, so what happens here? These flowers only give rise to juicy fruits. Okay, so juicy fruits we get from those mango plant. Okay, so now let us understand what we do. We eat the mango fruits, we enjoy it by eating it, and we throw out the seeds. Now think about the seeds. So these seeds germinate. What they do? These seeds, they germinate and form new plants. See, how do we get the different mango trees in different places? So whatever the seeds, whatever the fruit we eat and whatever the seed we throw out, so those seeds germinate and they form a new plants. Okay, so this you have to remember, all of you. So what's the function of the flowers in the plants? This is very important. So what kind of specific function do flowers do in plants? Okay, the flowers perform the function of reproduction in plants. Okay, what is the function of the flowers? Reproduction in plants. So reproduction process in plants takes place by the flowers. Okay, so flowers are also called, that's why they are called, flowers are called reproductive parts of a plant. So flowers are called what? Reproductive parts of the plant, because reproduction in plants takes place only by flowers. Okay, why for that? So why flowers are reproductive parts of the plant, that we will discuss in the next, in upcoming classes. Okay, so flower may have either the male part or a female part, or both male and female parts too. Okay, so it means any flowering plant may have only male part in it, or some flowering plant may have only female part. There are some plants which have both male and female parts. Okay, this number is more. Both the flowering plant which has both male and female part is more. Okay, so there are several ways by which the plants reproduce their offspring. Offspring means their young ones. So there are different ways by which the plants reproduce their offspring. So those are categorized as asexual and sexual reproduction. Okay, so you have to remember here, dear students. So those two parts are called as asexual type of reproduction and sexual type of reproduction. So what is asexual reproduction? So let's see here. So in asexual reproduction, plants, they give rise to new plants. They produce new plants without seeds, without involvement of seeds, without putting the seed into the soil. The plants reproduce. Okay, that is what asexual reproduction. Whereas in sexual reproduction, the new plants are obtained from seeds. Okay, so seeds are going to help for the reproduction, hence such reproduction is called sexual reproduction. The reproduction which takes place in the plants without seeds, it is called as asexual reproduction. Okay, so dear students, let me stop here and let me continue the next part of the lesson in the next class. Okay, so I hope, dear students, you have understood what is reproduction, what are the various parts of the plant. We call them as vegetative parts. Okay, so we call them as vegetative parts of the plant, and what are the reproductive parts of the plant, and what are the different main category of type of reproduction. Okay, so let me continue the remaining part of the lesson in the next class. Thank you and have a nice day.